What's up, guys? So back in my first video, so as you can see, we got a broken PC. As you can see, we have a missing CPU cooler. That's because when my brother PC broke, he was trying to take off the CPU fan, but he couldn't reinstall it because he doesn't know how to do it. But anyways, without further ado, let's see what the actual problem is. Now, yes, I did plug in my hard drive. Well, let's plug in my brother's SSD into the system and see if there's any changes with it, because SSDs, as you can see, like this is my brother's SSD. Let's plug in. Okay, how do you take this out? So since I have the cable connected like that, we're gonna plug in our SSD. This is our data cable, and then we're gonna plug in the power. Let's get this. Let's get my keyboard out of the way, because that's what we're using for troubleshooting. So yeah, let's get right to it. Let's turn on the computer, and we're gonna switch to the capture card. So we're gonna wait for this to disappear first. We're gonna see what this thing is on. Okay, that's interesting. I don't know why my capture card just did that. Let's see if it boots in the Windows. Oh, okay. Repairing automatic repair. So, interestingly, looks like we have a problem with our system. So, let's see if we can troubleshoot from here. If not, we have to reinstall Windows. Okay, so continuing doesn't do it. Well, let's see. So, yeah, let's see what this thing here says. So, automatic repair couldn't repair your PC. Okay, so, yeah. I think we just got no signal. And the computer just shut off. Nice. So, what I might have to do over here is we need to add our CPU fan, like this one on top, and see if it solves any issues. Okay, so now we put in our CPU cooler. Let's turn on the fan and switch to the capture card. So we get this, we still have the automatic repair message, so let's see if we can fix anything with that. So it says here, diagnosing your PC. So that still didn't fix anything. And that could be corrupt Windows. But first things first, we need to see if we can have our advanced options, where to go to troubleshoot first. Damn, I'm just more used to looking at the capture card rather than my computer monitor, so I'm gonna switch to the HDMI in. We're gonna go to advanced options. We're gonna press startup repair. So the issue could be with the hard drive. Okay, let's turn off our machine, and we're gonna get straight to work. So we're going to take out the hard drive, like so. Here's the hard drive, and let's plug it into the reader so we can clone the data to this hard drive. And so then when we do that, we can then reinstall Windows. And that's because this drive has 240 gigs. So if he needs 500 gigs, he can do so. Yes, I know hard drives are, but it's the way it is. So let's plug it into my hard drive reader. and I'll get you guys right here. So what we got over here is my brother's SSD plugged in, and we got a brand new hard drive. So all that's left to do is we're gonna go to Disk Genius. So what that's gonna do for us is gonna clone anything from here all the way to the other drive. Actually, let's see how we're gonna do this. Windows E command. Let's go to Windows E. We're gonna press OS migrate. We're gonna press OK. We're gonna press that. We're gonna press OK. So what we have to do here is we do have to free up some space because that's where we'll be installing our Windows 11 partition, of course. Considering that we do need to save our files. Let's see if it lets me move it like so. Or we can just press start and press OK. So what it's going to do is it's going to say backup or hot migration carries out those operating systems via taking snapshots. So what that's going to do is instead of like having to constantly make new files, all that's going to do is it's going to transfer the files from one system to the next. We're going to press hot migration. So I'm going to get back to you guys on that one once we're done cloning the drive. And while we wait for the drive to clone, we're going to be doing something for the RAM. So I'm going to check to see how much RAM this thing has. If it's 16 gigs, we're going to pump it up to over 32 since my brother does content creation as well. So we're going to take out 2 sets of those. How did one of them get stuck? Alright, so we got here is our, I'm going to point at the camera if it focuses. We got ourselves 8 gig RAM. So that's with both of them. Of course, we're going to wait for the camera to unblur itself. This guy is also 8 gigs. As you can see, I'm pointing at the camera. We're going to see how much this thing has. Hold on, we have to wait for it to focus. That's 8 gigabytes as well. So what we may have to do here is to put in RAM. We're going to put in extra RAM. So as you can see, this is the G-Skill. And then this is our ZDAC. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in, we're going to open up each slot, each and only one. And then we're going to put in one set over here since G-Skill is better at RAM than whatever the hell that thing is. So we're going to put in one. Well, no offense, by the way. I think G-Skill's better because it has better performance. Other than that, we're going to put in our ZDAC on our left. Like so. And then we're going to put another G-Skill next to the ZDAC. And then we're going to put in the ZDAC afterwards. We're going to put in G-Skill. Hold on. This thing's being today. We're going to put in the G-Skill, and then we're going to put in our ZDAC again. So now we have 4 RAM. And the only reason why we have it like that is because, say, we need to have it boot up a certain way. So in most cases, we have to put it like 2 separated, like by one, and then 2 separated by another. So all that's left to do is wait for the thing to clone. While we do so, we're going to turn on the PC for the BIOS. Turn the sucker on. Okay, so we do have to wait for the computer to turn on. There we go. So as you can see here, CPU or memory changed. Please enter setup. All you have to do is wait for it, although I don't know why the capture card's like moving it, but you just get the idea. Now anyways, we're just going to wait for it to turn on the BIOS. No signal again, and we're going to see if it gets the BIOS. Surely enough, it does. Hold on. So what we got here is our black screen. And the computer does shut right itself off, I think. So, no. It booted right into the installation media, which we do have to wait in just a moment. We're going to exit out of here. We're going to press yes for that. Since I plugged in the USB by accident, we're just going to press yes. unplug the USB and see if it gets straight to the BIOS. Surely enough, we got BIOS. So what we're gonna go over here is we're gonna get to our memory. As you can see here, the capture card's not having it today, so it's getting to the lower resolution. So what we can do here, it's saying 2133 megs. So it's saying we have ourselves nothing plugged in. We're gonna go to fan info, we're gonna press this guy here. Interestingly, the game capture, for some reason, it's screaming at the top of its lungs. I need to plug in USB. Okay, there we go. We're gonna turn off the computer. Sorry that this thing was glitching today. So we're gonna get to our PC. See how well that's going. So nothing bad. And then I'm gonna show you the process of the hard drive cloning. So as you can see, it's doing okay with the cloning hard drive. And yeah, there we go. So quick update. So what I had to do is I had to plug in the graphics card directly into my monitor that supports 1080p, and then unplug it and plug it into the capture card, and this is what it looks like now. So we're good on that. All we had to do is check on a few things. So what we may have to do is we need to update the BIOS on this motherboard. Right here, I'm going to show you. This is the MSI Pro VDH Wi-Fi. Same one as shown on this motherboard over here. This is a, even says over there, this is a B460M Pro VDH Wi-Fi. So yes, for those that do want to know how to update the BIOS, first things first, we're going to go back to our Windows computer, the one that we're installing the BIOS from. 2, search up your motherboard's make and model. 3, we're going to press the download button on the latest version. Don't click on any beta versions. Now once that's done, we're going to then press the button here. We're going to press always. And then what we're going to then do is we're going to transfer the file from here all the way to my new USB drive. So now that's done, we're going to unplug the USB. We're going to go to our video capture card. Plug in the USB. We're going to press F7. No, wrong keyboard. F7. Now we're in easy mode. We're going to press M flash. There's a lot of key mouses over here. We're going to press M flash. By the way, we're going to update the BIOS. Click that. We're going to press... Damn, this capture card is delayed. Holy... We're going to press yes. And then, yeah. We're going to update the BIOS. So it's rebooting itself like twice. And yeah, we're gonna wait. Finally it pulled up. So what we have to do here is we're gonna press one of these two. So we're gonna press our USB, and then we're gonna see which one to click on first. So we're gonna press yes. And obviously we need to make sure it doesn't f*** up the motherboard, because when you update the BIOS, it will always f*** up the board, so we always have to ensure that everything's going as planned first. And if the computer were to turn off or the USB were to be unplugged, it can f*** up your entire computer. So let's just hope my entire bedroom doesn't shut itself off during the process. Alright, so we updated the motherboard to the latest BIOS settings, and we're gonna see what it looks like so far once we install Windows. So now we got the hard drive cloned. All we have to do is wait for this thing to show up, And once it does, we can then take out the hard drive, and then afterwards we can install Windows, reinstall Windows, that is. Okay, that's fine, we can just reinstall Windows. So now all that's left to do is to go back to our overhead. Dang it. So let's go to our overhead. Well, we're not going to go to our overhead just yet because there's still a few things I need to do on the drive itself. Which one of them being I have to go to the PC. What we're then going to do is we're going to go to local disk. Right here, as you can see, it's showing up a bunch of folders. I'm going to go to this PC. Showing me a bunch of files over here, so we're going to delete what is called... We're going to take out the old SSD. And then we're going to take out the hard drive from the hard drive reader. As you can see, it's saying Windows G. Now, why is that, you may ask? Because all it's doing is it's going to put itself in some sort of recovery. So now, all that's left to do is go inside disk management. As you can see, everything is stored on here. We're going to press new simple volume. Next, next, again. Do not assign drive layer. We're going to press next and finish. Now all that's left to do is to just change lighter. In case my brother were to plug in any external hard drive, we're going to set this as B. Press OK. And then we're going to call it the old drive. We're going to go to properties. We're going to call it my brother's old files. As you can see, it pops up here. What I then gotta have to do is we're gonna delete a partition since it's showing up as a 3 separate drives. So we got here is new volume, 240 gigs, which is clearly half of 500 gigs actually. So all that's left to do is we need to delete this guy over here, which is called recovery. Now, the next thing after that is we're going to go to where it says command prompt, run as administrator, press yes. So what we have to do here is we're going to type in disk part. We're going to type in list disk. We got the enter in select disk 1. List partitions. Hold on. List partition. Okay. So now we know what to delete. We're going to enter in partition 3. Gonna have to make sure again, partition 3, and then type in and now we deleted unneeded space. We're gonna try this again. Let's see if it lets us extend the volume on this. Well, actually, there's no need to mess with that. So now that's done, we're going to go to our overhead and reinstall the drive. Okay, so now we're on the overhead. We're going to put this sucker. This is a 500 gig hard drive. We're going to put this back into the computer. Like so. Okay, let's just hope nothing disconnects. So, I'm going to be using the... Hold on, let's make sure this wire expands first and just move this keyboard. This is where we're using to install Windows, reinstall Windows onto the system. Afterwards, we're going to put everything back together. Plug it into... I know it's hard to see, but it's just what it is. Just plug in the drive. And then let's move our overhead right over here, so then it's easier for you guys to see. So make sure our overhead is on the right position. Let's move our PC right over here. We're going to go to our capture card. Now that's done, we're going to go to get our keyboard. Let's go to the capture card and reinstall Windows. Okay, so what we need to do over here is we're going to press enter. Okay, let's turn off the system. We're going to take out the hard drive from here, turn on our machine, and put it back in the hard drive so we can reinstall Windows. Okay, so what I have to do over here is to put it back in. We're going to spam F11. We're going to press F11. We're going to go to our overhead. As you can see, I'm spamming F11 on the keyboard. Now let's go to our capture card. Shows up this menu. Sorta. Hold on, that's taking a while. Yeah, this thing's weird today. Yeah, so all that's left to do is to put it on a 1080p computer monitor first, and then plug back in the game capture strips. Yeah, that's weird. Recovery. Okay. Enter again. We're gonna press F8 actually. So it's stuck on the screen. It could be a hardware problem, but we're still not sure yet. We're gonna press F1. It's gonna make sure we don't have our broken MOBO or motherboard. So what I have to do right now is turn off the system. We're gonna then plug in directly into the monitor since my game capture is being like this for the past few while now. We're gonna spam F11. We're gonna go to our overhead. As you can see, it's on my second screen. We're gonna press it, spam it. We're gonna go to USB 3.0 partition. Hold on. USB. Hold on. We're gonna plug in our Windows installer. First things first, since I have two identical flash drives, we're gonna plug in mine first and see if we have Windows installed on the system. Never mind, now I know which one's which. We're gonna plug in this guy into the motherboard, and then we're gonna go to our USB 3. We're gonna turn off the system, turn it back on again. Press F11. And then afterwards, we're gonna wait for it to turn on. As you can see, this is my keyboard. We're gonna wait for this to boot into some sort of partition. So we got to show this menu. We're gonna unplug our capture card. Okay, I'm sorry, my monitor. We're gonna plug in our capture card to the computer. We're gonna go to where it says Game Capture POV, and let's see what pops up here. So options here are, we got Windows Boot Manager. We're gonna go to our Windows installation media. Select that, and a moment of truth. Okay, so we're in this installation screen. So since we're in that screen, we're gonna press next. Next, install Windows 11. Okay, we have to press agree. We're gonna then wait for the thing to show up. If not, we have to enable TPM. Never mind, so this computer... And it just shut itself off. Okay. So we are going to go back to our overhead view camera. You have to ensure this is in the right position. And since there's no mounting brackets for this particular one, which will be coming soon, there's nothing I can do at this point other than this. We're going to look to make sure we're in our CPU thing correctly. We're going to turn on our system. Power it on. We're going to spam F11. We're going to spam F11 again until the menu shows up. That's weird, so we're going to wait for that to load. We're going to turn off our system again. I think, hold on, no video. So our computer turned off, we're going to disconnect the hard drive. So when it gets to the installation media immediately, turn on our system again and see what it does. Okay, so it shows me this screen. We're going to wait for it to install Windows for us, and yeah. Okay, so now we're in the setup screen. We're gonna move our thing around. We're gonna press. Hold on. It lets us move it around. Hold on. Interestingly, it just zooms in like that. We're gonna move it upward. We're gonna press enter. Okay. We're gonna press I agree. Damn, this thing has a delay. We're gonna press enter. So we're gonna wait for it to load first. We're gonna scroll down like that. We're gonna press enter. Okay, let's scroll all the way down. Weird, so it's showing me half of the screen, but it's not showing me the whole thing of the screen. Okay. So let's make this full screen for us, shall we? So now we got it in full screen mode. We're gonna try reinstalling Windows, this time in this position, other than the others. That just goes to 480p because the capture card has decided to default itself to 480 even though it's a 1080p compatible device. So let's see how it goes. Maybe it's going to be good, maybe it's going to be okay, maybe worse, I don't know. So let's see how we're going to do it here. So now we're in this application. We're going to then just go to next again. We're going to press this guy here. We're going to press next again, press accept, searching for disk. What we're going to then do is plug in our hard drive. We're going to press refresh. Okay, so we are going to check to see if our SATA cable's in. Plug it back in by lifting the case or something. We're going to plug it in like so. Let's see how we're going to do this without messing this stupid thing up. Plug in our SATA hard drive. We're going to click on refresh. Refresh again. We may have to reboot the system. Okay. So it looks to me we have to shut down the computer and turn it back on since it's not being recognized. And yeah, I'm going to get back to you guys once that's resolved. Okay, so now we're back to square one and see if the hard drives get recognized. Okay, so now we are in the Windows installation media, so all we have to do is press next. Next again. We're gonna press I agree, because really that's what the installation media is nowadays. We're gonna select that, we're gonna press next. And yeah, we're gonna see if it shows up the hard drives this time. And moment of truth. There we go. So what we have to do here is we're gonna press this so-called new volume. Okay, so now we did that. We have to make sure we're on our right file. Since I have to, let's just change the HDMI input into my computer monitor, so then it's easier to see without having to look at a capture card screen. So really we need to see which one's which. So we got this we need to keep, obviously. So then we can do, this is 600 megabytes unallocated space. So new volume, primary, and then press next. Again, we did good. So now we're installing Windows 11. Nice. And let's fast forward to the video and see how well it goes. And once that's done, we're gonna set everything up and call it a day. Okay, so now we got the thing booted into Windows 11. We're gonna set everything up. Now that's ready, we're gonna then shut off our computer, and then afterwards we're gonna go to our overhead and show you what that looks like. So again, the CPU fan needs to be installed. Now luckily for me, I have the mounting brackets for the CPU fan, so let's get to work. So now the PC's putting back together and everything, let's turn on the computer and we're going to go to our game capture software, or a game capture view that is, and see what this looks like. Okay, that's interesting. So this here says your PC/device needs to be repaired, okay? So what I have to do is press enter again. Actually, what's best is to turn off the system. Turn it back on again. Okay, so looks like it'll be a while. Okay, so what we have to click here is next, and then we're gonna press next again, and we're gonna press repair my PC. Press next again. So what we have to press is United States of America. We're gonna press use another operating system, Windows 11. And let's see if it's gonna boot up this time. Okay, there we go. Let's hope it boots up at first. If not, we do have to get the whole thing fixed again. So it's going to Windows 11 like it's supposed to. Okay, so now we got it up and running again. We're gonna press yes. We're gonna press yes again. Skip. And the computer just shut off right when we did that. Very weird inconvenience. But yeah, hopefully it boots up. I mean, if it doesn't, then I may have to take hours worth of troubleshooting here in just a quick moment. Okay. Yeah, the hardware is completely. So let's see what we can do here. So as it turns out, the computer kept on shutting off because the system overheated, and also had to apply new thermal paste off camera. So since then, his computer wasn't shutting off anymore. So all that's left to do is add a 512 gig SSD, so once it arrives, we'll install it right on camera. So my brother's been telling me that his computer takes such a long time for his thing to boot up, so all that's left to do is to open up this package from T-Force. As you can see, I'm going to take it out right now. Now I got this drive taken out of the box. What that's left to do is to take out this old one, clone it, and put in this new one. So, yeah, hopefully boots up faster than before. So what I'm then going to do is to plug this new SSD with nothing on here, slide it into my hard drive reader. Yes, I have the power cord for this in my room. What I'm then going to do is plug this into my computer's motherboard, which, as you can see, what that's going to do is to transfer the data from here all the way to here. And yes, we're going to use Disk Genius like last time. So now it's been an hour since I cloned from the old hard drive to the new SSD. I'm going to then put it back together. The repair is now complete. So all I had to do is to now install 3 terabyte hard drive into his system, which now took 4 hours or so, and now he is liking it. So anyways, if you guys like, you can give this from 1 to 10. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.